Tiana.
Yours truly, Savon.
And we are back after a long time.
Too long.
Of not filming.
Too long.
But we have exciting news. Right, babe?
We moved.
Yeah, we bought our first house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're homeowners. Today we just wanted to kind of like give some insight on being young and working toward ownership, like how to build your credit, like how we saved and all of that different stuff. So yeah, we've been kind of MIA because life has been going on, and we hope that when you guys watch this video that you are doing well, that you're in good health, in good spirits, that you're not stressed about anything, that you're safe, because the world is pretty crazy right now. So yeah, but so let's get started on this long journey of yeah, and like how we got here in this moment. Last May, I went on a deployment, and the plan was for when I came back from the deployment for us to buy our house, right? And so what I did before I left was I got a secured credit card, and the goal was for me to be able to make small purchases while I was over there. But that didn't happen because they didn't let me use my credit card. That was a long story. So when I came back, I didn't have any credit. We weren't able to buy our house. But the good thing about it was before we left, before I left, I moved in with Tavon and his family. So that gave us the opportunity to save. To put it into perspective, I went from every 2 weeks making about $750 to every 2 weeks making roughly $1,400. So we were able to save a lot because I didn't have bills. I don't have a car note or anything like that. So when I came home, we had the money in our savings, but I didn't have credit. So I built my credit in 3 months, basically. I would charge gas, and then 3 days later, I would go and pay it off. So it was nothing that was like super expensive that I couldn't pay for or that I didn't have the means to pay for. So you create a small debt, and then you pay it off, and then the people at the credit bureau, they see that you're making more payments. So it's kind of like working the system. And by no means am I like a financial expert or anything. This is just what I did that worked for us, basically. And then when I got comfortable with charging the gas, I would charge other small things, like when we would go to Walmart and get groceries or whatever, I would charge that as well to my card, and then just go back and pay it off. In November, we got the pre-approval, and literally that same day, so I called Tavon. What did I tell you that day? Do you remember?
I think she was like, babe, we got the pre-approval on the house. Was it something on that?
I told you I was pregnant first, remember?
Oh yeah, she did say that. Actually, that day she called me like twice with surprising you.
Yeah, but that day, I was joking. I didn't know that I was actually pregnant. But yeah, I just was like,
You speak that in Texas.
I did. I did, because I called him, I was like, hey, I'm pregnant. And he was on the phone like,
First.
and I was like, psych, nah, I'm just playing. We got the pre-approval in the house. And about 15 minutes after that, I went back to work, and my chief calls me into the office, and he's like, hey, you know you got orders to Italy? And I'm like, huh? Like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, you're going to Italy. So right after I called him telling him that we got the pre-approval for the house, I called him back and I'm like, never mind, we're going to Italy. And he was like, what? About 2 weeks after that, I found out that I was actually pregnant. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff that just happened all at one time. And so it kind of just put us on our butts for a while. Like us, going to Italy. So we were supposed to leave in May. So that whole time we were just buying all of our stuff, getting all of our stuff shipped to go to Italy because we had found out that we were having a baby. So we had to get all this baby stuff, had to get house stuff.
Just getting dogs ready.
Yeah, getting the dogs ready to go with us. And it was a whole lot of stress. Like, I was stressed out. When I say I was super stressed and I was trying to hold myself together, then COVID hit. It didn't really start to become an issue though until April. And I'm like, okay, so I'm pushing the window of where I can't travel anymore. Cause after a certain amount of weeks, you're not able to fly. So, my leadership was basically just like, okay, Erin McCain, you're just gonna have to wait it out, right? So we're still waiting to see when it's gonna be time for us to leave. So it went from us leaving and me delivering in Italy to me delivering here and then us going to Italy later.
Yeah.
So the house was something that was just out of our heads at that point. And then May passes and June comes around and they push my date until July. I needed the time to be extended because that was too close to my due date. So we put in the request to extend it until after my maternity leave, which would be over in November. And then they canceled it all together because they didn't feel like me bringing a newborn into a country with where Corona is a hot spot would be smart. Because if anything were to happen, if she got sick or whatever, then it would be on them, So that was God's way of confirming that Italy was just not in the books for us right now, if that makes sense. Because when I did the extension request, my prayer wasn't Lord, send us to Italy. It was only send us so I can come with us. Because it's to have a baby by yourself in a whole new country. And then not to have your support team, and support system. And then he would be feeling we left him even though it was
Yeah, that would have been tough.
Yeah, that would have been, it just wouldn't have been the best situation. So when it got denied, when I tell you, there was so much relief of pressure. I came outside and I told him, because my supervisor called me, and I came outside and I told him with a big old smile on my face. He was confused. He thought I was joking. Yeah, he was like, oh, so we're not going? So why are you smiling? And I'm because I just feel a relief of pressure. Because another thing was, we have pit bulls, so them traveling was an issue with getting on the planes. He was not leaving them here. So it was just, there was no leaving them here.
Yeah, they was gonna go.
Yeah, so whether we had to put them on a boat or what, the dogs had to come to Italy. They couldn't have stayed here. It just wouldn't have been right. So they had to come. That was something that was stressful because I'm like, to put them on a boat that's a check. And so it was just like everything started to fall into place, right? So it brought us back to our original plan of buying our first house. And it was good for me because when I joined the military, I said, whatever base that I get stationed at, I want to purchase a piece of property. Whether it be a house, whether it be some land or whatever. So if we were to go to Italy, I would not have purchased, like I wouldn't have stuck to my plan and my goal. I prayed, I'm like, okay God, since you're keeping us here, then show us where our house is. Like, you know, don't let this be a stressful process, a long drawn out process, because at the end of the day, I'm about to have a baby. So we need to be moved in. I'm like in nesting mode and he's in nesting mode too. Like we're ready to have everything like set in place, right? And so even though living with his parents is not bad, to have a baby and to be married and it's our first child, we just needed our own space.
Yeah.
Like, cause to be in that one room, like we would have made it work, but it wouldn't have been the most ideal situation because it's just crowded, you know? So yeah, we found out the one day, I don't even know. The next day, no, that same day I set up an appointment to go look at the house. And the next day we came and we looked at the house. And we made an offer on the house because we liked it. We thought it was perfect for us.
Yeah.
And then the following day, the guy who was selling the house accepted our offer on the house. So
that was a good feeling.
it was, and then the prayer was, because we were kind of like, you know when you're making a big decision and you kind of get like cold feet, I think it was. We were just like, okay God, like, if this is our house, let the offer get accepted. If it's not our house, show us where our house is gonna be. Like, because really just the neighborhood was what was important, because where we previously had lived, like our neighbors were super nice. And we could walk outside at night and not really feel like anything bad is gonna happen. So with us not knowing this neighborhood, we were kind of like, I personally, I can't speak for him, but I was like super nervous about that. Yeah, you know, considering everything that's going on. So, when the offer got accepted, we were just like, okay, that's good, right? And then it took us a little over a month to close on the house.
Didn't even feel like a month, to be honest.
To him, it felt like a month to me, but it was only because I was so ready, like, because you can't, until you close, you can't like go inside, and it did feel like a long time.
Yeah, I think the last week we had to close, it felt like the longest.
Yeah, because it's like you want to come in and you want to start planning and you want to start situating everything and painting and cleaning and moving in and organizing and all of that stuff. So to not be able to do that, it's kind of like if you tell your kid that you got them some candy, but they can't have it until after they eat dinner, but you got the candy in the morning time. Now they gotta wait all day, you know? So it's like, but when we got the keys and we moved in, we started painting like the same day we got the keys. Yeah, we got to work, y'all. And like now, we've been in the house for a week.
That's a good
But
feeling.
it's a really good feeling. And it's like, we were married before. Don't get us wrong, we were married before. But there's a difference in having your own space with your spouse. Like a huge difference. There's a different level of privacy, a different level of freedom. It's just like, you could be in your own space how you feel like being in your own space, you know? Yeah. So, ooh, and y'all, I took my first bath. So on my birthday, I took a bath, but I was telling Tavon that bath does not count because it's like we were at a hotel, you know.
I think you had to explain what a bath because some people would think you weird and so on.
No, a bath. You know, you sit down in the tub with some bubbles, y'all, and I was so content. And then Tavon bought in candles and he started playing my song. Oh my gosh, y'all. I started crying because, whew, I just felt normal for the first time in a long time. Like, you know. Yes. Because if you know me, like, I will take a bath every single day. Like, a bath to sit down in the water. Since I shower, but a bath, since, you know, I had to clarify. I would take a sit-down bath every single day. And to not have been able to do that for a long time, it just felt like really good. Like, really good. So, yeah. So, how you feel being in the house, babe?
I feel really good. Still adjusting. It's like something totally brand new.
You miss mom?
I miss all of them.
Oh.
I talked to them, they say it's kind of weird for them being in the house and we're not there. Yeah, they say it's like the same thing. They still try to get accustomed. Yeah. Just to us not being.
Yeah.
But it's good, you know? It's a good feeling.
It's just different.
My mom said that this is the first time, well, I am being grown since, like, this is my first time leaving the house. But it's a good feeling.
Yeah. She was just joking when she said that. Like your first time being grown. But it is like,
I know what she meant, but
yeah. Like being on your own.
I've been mature.
Yeah.
I know what she meant growing in your own place and stuff.
Yeah. See, me, I like lived on my own for 2.5 years before I moved in with his family. So going from living by myself, and you know, I come in as please, leave as please. I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to, not that I had to at his parents' house. But it's like I left my mom's house, you know, you just doing whatever you want. I had to readjust to living with other people. It was good that I was able to do that in a family environment, like versus saying like living with random people, like, you know, roommates or like college type stuff. So it's good to do that in a family environment, but it was like I had already been on my own, so I had to just adjust back. And then the different cultures was a thing as well.
It's like the second time I leave family, you know. It's like I leave a lot of family back in Trinidad to come here to live with my dad and my brother in a stranger house. So
Right.
I think I went through that phase to know what to deal with it. So this it's all right with me. You know, it's like I know I'll see them again. I know I'll talk to them again. It's just a change, you know. It's life.
It's just different. It's different. And then y'all know, well, y'all probably don't know, but Tavon is really spoiled. Like, he's the baby. So that explains everything. Plus, him and his mom are like this. So I know, because when I moved out, I had a hard time adjusting when I moved out from my mom, because I'm a mama's girl. So I just know, like, it can be something that isn't easy at first, necessarily. But he got me, y'all, so it don't matter. You know, I'm gonna take good care of you, sure. I feed you, brother. You don't be hungry, do you? I might not know how to make all the Trinidad dishes yet.
I'm here to teach her. I got you.
But I'm gonna take care of you. You're gonna have a full belly.
I'll be hungry. She can pay.
I'm hungry right now, actually. But yeah, so we just wanted to get on here and share with you. We're very young. But I think that's the smarter thing to do, and that's why I wanted to share it with you so you can understand, like, some way kind of how it is, because I never was taught anything about credit. I wasn't taught what it But yeah, we're super excited. Eventually, when our stuff, that's another thing. All of our stuff got sent to Italy.
Yeah. So we are no furniture.
Yeah. So.
House Echo in our home.
Echo, thus the Echo, because we have no furniture. It should be here next month. Fingers crossed. If y'all want to come, see us, call first. Call before you come. Don't just pop up. You'll be stuck outside. But we'd love to have you. Just call first. All right. But thank you for watching this video. Sorry it's been so long since you've seen our lovely faces. Like,
likes, all the comments. Subscribe.
You want to see my belly? This is
Good
my. How many weeks am I? 30. 37 weeks and 3
She don't
days.
even know.
37 weeks and 3 days. And I personally think she